everybody, it's Bandy. Alright, I'll take you a little bit of my world here. I'm actually on my John Deere tractor. Went fishing this morning and now it's time to work. And if you call this work, I actually love it. Okay, about me. And let's see, I have been playing the guitar and the bass. I learned that when I was 14 years old. My mom and dad was musicians, and that's how they met at the Palomino Club out in California. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 5 years old, so I'm the youngest of 13. My mother had 13 of us kids. My dad had 3 more kids besides us on a previous marriage before him and mom got married, so actually I'm the youngest of 16. But it was pretty tough growing up, and so my mom was trying to raise at this time, when I was 14, I think there was about 4 of us left at home. I always had a desire for music. I think I've been singing since I was in my mother's womb, and I just always loved to sing. I learned to play the bass when I was 14, and so because it was hard financially growing up and mom struggling as a single mom, mom started a family band with me and my older sister. We started playing music for a living out in places I don't go into anymore when I was 14, and kind of grew up pretty quick, trying to help make a living for our family to help survive. So I don't regret those hard times. I believe it helped make the person who I am today. I have a caring and compassionate heart. I know a lot of you guys out there always talk about how I always talk encouraging to people, but that's in my heart to do that. And when I do that, I'm always sincere about it. Of course, I am definitely a believer in Jesus Christ. He's always taken care of us even in hard times, and I've always thanked Him for the good times and the bad times, because He got me through all those bad times, and He still does. And He makes my good times even better. So He is who I always put my trust in, and nobody else. My music has always been like a medicine for me, and always a joy. I'm so in love with music. It's a passion for me, like it is for so many of you guys. During good times and bad times, a lot of you guys always see this big old mouth, this big old smile out there. And even though I might sometimes be going through some hard times, you guys won't never know, because that's what music does to me. It takes me out of a situation and brings me to a whole different dimension. And so temporary problems seem to fade away and go away. And Pablo and the gang, I want to thank you personally for that, because it has really been medicine for my soul to have that avenue. Because see, I don't go out and play in places like I used to anymore. Like so many of us, you know, you get families and children and obligations and work, things like that. And this is a way and an avenue to do that from my own home and meet the most wonderful people, talented, such great talent of guitar players, drummers, keyboardists, bass players, singers, all aspects. And I'm so thankful for them. Not only are they excellent musicians, but they are excellent people. I've come to meet some great and awesome friends and people who I am honored to call my friends, even though I've never met them. And actually, it's like a great big family to me, and I'm sincere about it every time I tell you guys I love you guys, because I do. Anyway, just love you guys, and I love this website. And of course, a lot of you guys know me. I'm a singer, I'm a bass player, and I'm a rhythm guitar player. Mostly I grew up singing country music. That's my roots. Country music like Patsy Cline and Merle Haggard. You know, old classic country. To me, that's real country. And off of that stemmed classic rock, which I love, and I'm listening to here in my John Deere as I'm working. Actually, I'm taking a break, don't tell nobody. And classic rock, I love to sing that. Actually, I really didn't start singing so much classic rock until BandHub. because most of you guys, that's all you guys do. So, but I still love my country music. Just something quick about me, about my name, Bandy. It's spelled B-A-N-D-E, and that's really not my real name, and I'm not going to tell you, that's secret, top secret. And, but my name Bandy was a stage name that I made up when I was 14 years old, because, you know, at that age you just want to be different on stage, so I didn't want my real name used, which I like my real name, but you know how it is, when you're 14 you want to be a little bit different, and that's what I did. That's how I came up with that name. I've always been a fanatic when I was young, probably since I was 10 years old, with the Beatles, and actually I was born the year those guys broke up, but I've always loved them, and there was a great influence in my life musically growing up and learning to play, when I learned to play, and songs that I would sing back in my young teens. And so I always wanted to be like the Beatles. I wanted to have my name associated with them somehow. So I started thinking, well, how can I make a name up with John, Paul, George, or Ringo? Well, I thought, well, John, I can't do nothing with that name. Paul, no. And George? Well, heck no. Nobody's gonna be calling me George. So I thought, Ringo, I can do something out of that, because that wasn't his real name. His real name is Richard Starkey, as I'm sure most everybody knows. And I realized back then that he always loved a bunch of rings and stuff, and at that time in my life I always did too. And every finger I had, probably two rings stacked up, just dripping off of it. Not expensive, but they were pretty. And so I thought, well, I can do something out of that name. So I was thinking, well, he probably came up with that name Ringo because he likes all those rings he wears. So I thought, instead of a ring, how about a band? So I come up and thought, yeah, okay, band. And I thought, Ringo, Bando, now. So I thought, E. Well, so I thought Band-E, Bandy. And so there's how I came up with that name. I made up that name, and because of the Beatles, and because Ringo is the only name I could come up with something out of. A little bit more about me on how I learned to play bass. At 14 years old, my mom showed me where the basic chords were, you know, just the simple boom, 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 A, you know, G, C, D, A, all the basic places. But she didn't know how to do the runs on the chords, you know, on the neck. So I took my Beatles tapes, of course, yeah, those were cassette tapes. Probably a lot of you remember them, probably some don't. But I would sit there and I would put some of my favorite Beatles songs on, and I would listen to Paul McCartney playing his bass, and I would listen and I would pause, and then I would find that chord and that tune on my bass. And that's how I learned. I don't read music, I play by ear. I just am, God just blessed me that way to where I can just hear something and be able to play it. And if I don't know it, I'll find it. And but that's how I did. I would just push play, I would listen to his bass runs and push pause. I would find it here on my bass, and I would get that down. I'd go to the next portion of the song. I would listen and I would put it on pause, and I would play it note for note of how he was doing it. And I just continued doing that until finally I realized, hey, this is actually beginning to be like a pattern. So, you know, this is making a pattern on the neck of my bass. I realized that I can not only just do that in like a D chord, but it works for all the chords. So that's how I learned how to play the bass. So I always tell everybody that my mother and Paul McCartney taught me how to play the bass. And I am not any more prouder than that, because that's as good as it gets to me. I love you, Mom. My mom's still alive, thank the Lord. She is a healthy 84 years old, and she's just as young as me. She ain't afraid to get on this tractor either. As a matter of fact, my mom taught us kids pretty much how to take care of ourselves and really not depend on anybody, because a lot of times you can't. And so you depend on God first and yourself second. That's how my mother raised us. And not only can I drive this John Deere tractor, but I also can drive an 18-wheeler. I got a commercial driver's license. I can drive a big truck with those big old long trailers. I can haul my own horses in my horse trailers. There's not too much I can't do. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything. And that's what I've done. One thing I always wanted to do and I didn't do yet, and I did say yet, I always want to take flying lessons to be a pilot. I think that would be pretty cool. So that might still be on my list before my life's over. So I still got a long way to go. And anyway, I'm out here on the farm, and I took a break here so I can talk to you guys and get this video out. Just again, I want to tell you guys I love you, and I love BandHub. I tell every single buddy that I come across, all the musicians I come across, and other websites that I would go to. Actually, I've recruited 2 of them for you already, Pablo, that I know of. Probably even more, but 2 for sure that I'm aware of. But I'm not stopping there. That website, BandHub, is way too good to keep a secret, and I share it with everybody. Everywhere I go, physically, and everywhere I go on the internet, everybody from me is going to hear about BandHub and how proud I am of that website. And God bless you guys. I love you, and take care, and you know I love you. See ya. You guys keep playing that music, and Bandy's going to keep on listening and maybe even joining in with you. We'll talk to you later, and take care. Bye.
Spring, your skin is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. And I can easily understand how you can easily take my man, but you don't know what it means to me, Jolene. Thinks about you in his sleep. There's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him even though you can. I'll have to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you. You decide to do, Jolene. You could have your choice of men, but I could never love again, 'cause he's the only one for me, Jolene. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. men, but I could never.